Hey, what's up? I just wanted to make a quick video about my first time delivering for Amazon Flex. Some things I learned, some things that I'll know to do better next time. Hopefully, these will help you out. I wish I'd have known some of this stuff before I started today, but you live and learn, and hopefully, it'll be better next time. So to start off, I just FYI, I drive a Honda Civic Si sedan. So it's not the biggest car in the world, but it was big enough for the amount of packages that I was given for my block. So keep that in mind. You don't have to have a truck. I know you can make, I've heard you can make more with a truck or more space, but I don't know. So I'm not worried about that. So I signed up for a block on the app. I actually signed up 2 days early. It was a 4.5 hour block from 3:30 a.m. this morning to 8 a.m. So I showed up about 3:20 and the parking lot was pretty full. You park, you walk inside, they check your license, they ask you what amount of time you have in your block, and they give you a cart based off of your time. And then you walk down the ramp, you scan each package with your phone, load up your car, and you go. So my first piece of advice is, one, I recommend you wear a vest or a bright color. I wore this today, but it was cold, so I had it covered, which defeated the purpose. But you don't have to wear, you can wear whatever you want, but I recommend a vest because a couple of my stops, I could tell that they either looked at me crazy or one guy asked, "Hey, what are you doing in my mailbox?" And once I said I delivered a box, he smiled and said, "Oh, okay, thank you." It actually happened twice, but one guy is the only one that said something. But anyway, I recommend a vest or a bright color, so that they know you're somebody important. You're not just some random person off the street walking around their house. So anyway, my second piece of advice is when you scan all the boxes or packages, put them on the ground first, and then after you're done, load up your car based off of which route you want to take. So next time I'm gonna scan them all, put them on the ground as I scan them, and then I'll go into my app, look at the itinerary, and I'll start from the bottom and load those packages in first. So that way, once I get to the top, when I open my trunk, I'll just grab a box and go, grab a box and go. Whereas this time, every time I stopped, I had to dig through boxes and packages to find the right one, which didn't take up a huge amount of time, but it definitely saves some time if I were to organize them first. So I just another some random info. I live about 8 minutes from the warehouse, which isn't terrible. Well, it's great. And my first stop was about 15 minutes away, which was also pretty good. And each stop was about 2 or 3 minutes apart. The longest one I think was maybe 10 minutes. So that's pretty cool. It's a lot of stop and go. I recommend you don't turn your car off. It's bad for your car. Just, put the flashes on, find the box, deliver it, and keep going. So anyway, the way it works is, you go to your first stop, you'll click on the app that I'm parking or I've parked or whatever. You find the package, you scan it, you go up to the door, you leave it, you click that you left it on the front door, you gave it to somebody. If you leave it, you have to take a picture and then you can go, and then it moves on to the next address for you. One issue I had is my very first stop, I wasn't able to deliver it, so I tried to mark undeliverable on the app, but it wouldn't let me move on. So I ended up, and I didn't want to mess something up. So I called customer service and they tried to call the person. They were able to reach them and I was able to deliver it to them. But it was just weird that it wouldn't let me click. I can't drop it off. Let me move on, which I guess is part of customer service. So, I mean, that's fine. It is what it is. Um, my first the first two packages was an apartment type of complex. I couldn't gain access. It was 5 in the morning. I couldn't get into the lockers where they wanted me to leave them. They also left a note on the app saying if you can't get in, go to the leasing office. They'll give you a key. They don't open till 9, so it took me a while. I tried to walk around a little bit and figure out a different way in. Couldn't find it, but again, like I said, I was able to deliver it to the person because customer service called them. So that was nice. But just FYI, apartment complexes and places with gates and stuff, it just takes a lot of time. So just keep that in mind when you are delivering to those type of places. And I think it even tells you after you've scanned them all initially that some will go to businesses or complexes and stuff. I think um, because apartment complexes aren't open typically before 9 or any later than like I don't know, between 5 and 7. I think next time I deliver, I'm gonna pick a time block between 9 and 5, so that way everything's open. I'll probably pick a shorter block so this way I can see how it really goes and I won't have as much of a headache trying to find the place, gain access, try to call customer service to call the person. It's just a lot of wasted time. So I'm gonna try to do it during normal business hours so everything's open so I can see how it really goes and see, like I said, if it'll be probably a lot easier that way. My next piece of advice is to look ahead at the next address. So once you get to one address, before you deliver it, look at the next one and see if A, do they have more than one, or two, or B, do they have, is your next delivery address the same location? Because I had that happen a couple times, both apartment complexes, of course, and both times I couldn't gain access. So out of those couple times, I was only able to deliver one because customer service actually was able to reach that person. They did try to call customer service, try to call the people at the complexes all the other times, and nobody answered the phone because I'm sure they were asleep. So just keep that in mind that apartment complexes are just, yeah. Anyway, if you are unsure where to leave a package, I recommend you call the person if it's not 4 a.m. because one time I was kind of unsure, and it was funny. I even put it down, put delivered, and stepped back, and the app told me this doesn't seem like the right place, which it was weird because of what happened was it was some houses right off a main street. I pulled to the side. I walked through a gate. There was some main doors right there, but then in the back it was like 2 or 3 other houses, kind of where you see like families live together, but they have their own living space. But anyway, I called the person. She said no, bring it to the back, leave it on the speaker, which I was able to do. So if you're unsure, just don't leave it, especially where it's in a big wide open place like that, like right off a main road where anybody can just come take it. Just call, it was worth a few extra minute or two to deliver it to the right place. So my next piece of advice is if you're doing this for the first time, don't do anytime between before 9 a.m. or after 5 p.m. Just get your feet wet, try to figure it out during normal hours where everything's open. You don't have to as much of a hassle with the apartments and it's being dark. You can't see nothing, which also makes it hard. Try to pick normal hours just for your first time and pick a smaller block just to see how it goes. I wish I would have picked a smaller, like 2-hour block during the day, but I picked this one because the pay was a lot better than all the other times I had seen, and it was a good time. It just worked out. I didn't have to work today, so I could get up early and do it. But anyway, when I initially scanned them, I had 46 packages for my 4.5-hour block. I was only able to deliver half, send 20 something packages, which sucks. But I knew that you couldn't get paid overtime, so I wasn't gonna keep driving and not get paid for it. So I ended up going back to the warehouse, which took me over my 4.5-hour block. But I took them back to the warehouse. It was kind of weird. Like nobody knew. First of all, everybody was on break, but when they came back, nobody really seemed to know like what to do with them. The guy just said, "Yeah, I think I'll just scan them back in, and it should clear out the app for you saying you're done working," but it didn't. So I ended up waiting about 10 minutes before I called customer service for at least the 10th time, and they were finally able to clear all the packages. I guess they marked them all as undeliverable, and then the app finally cleared it out saying I was done working. My pay block was about $135 for a 4.5 hour block. I don't know if I'm gonna get all that money. I hope so, because I was working even though I only delivered half. I'll probably get some kind of markdown or something, because I'm sure, I know I had some Amazon Prime packages in there, and I know those are supposed to come at a certain time. So, and I had to return them. I'm sure somebody else took that block on. But anyway, I'm still waiting to see how much I'm gonna get paid. It's supposed to come through tomorrow. I think it's Tuesdays and Fridays or something that you get paid. So I'll make another video next time, let you know how it went, let you know if me going during the day makes it any easier or less of a headache. Let you know how much money I made this time and next time. And if you have any questions, leave a comment. I'll try to help you out, and hopefully your first time will be a lot smoother than mine was. But again, it wasn't terrible. It's just kind of irritating at times, but I think it was worth it for me, not having to drive far to and from the warehouse, to and from the delivery addresses. But we'll see next time. All right, thanks.